Bitcoin hoodie guy coming back with another Kaspa video. 103, let's get into that, okay? So you can see that the hash rate's 103 petahashes right now, and you can see that it's been consistently hanging over 100. Let's just take a look at that. It peeked its head over there, it's on the 7th. It went back down, and then now it's spending more time over 100. And overall, you can see that that hash rate is looking beautiful. Just keeps growing and growing. And man, when you look at the holders, the number of addresses, now we don't know how many people. Some people have 2 or 3 addresses, but the number of addresses is just growing like crazy. They're like weeds, just keep growing. And so right here, man, it felt like from 250 to 270 was growing, but pretty slow. But once it got over 270, 280, man, it's off to the races. And just the other night, not last night, but the night before I went to bed, or last time I checked, was 299,000. And so it almost grew 10% there. Now, when you look at the price action, it's not, in the short term, it's always funner in the short term when it's going up. But you can see that where are we at here? Down 3.5%, down 4% basically. It's basically the last week it's been down a little bit, but kind of chopping sideways mostly. And once it went from 8 cents up to, the new all-time highs, it's been chopping sideways. And that's fine because the metrics I care about, addresses, which I think will get up to 2.5, 3 million in this bull run, maybe more. And then the mining hash rates are increasing. And if you look, everything goes at a different rate here. Bitcoin's, basically went sideways the last day. You have Cardano going bananas. I mean, Cardano's up 56% the last week. Now it's down 2% the last hour, but still up 13%. So you can see that Cardano and Avalanche, and I do hold some Cardano, Avalanche, Polkadot. So some of these layer ones, not Ethereum, but some of these other layer ones below Solana, XRP, and Ethereum. So you got Cardano, Avalanche, Polkadot. Where's some other layer ones? Well, those Kronos, they're outperforming Bitcoin the last hour. So people holding Bitcoin that believe in it, and I hold Bitcoin too, they're not just giving up on Bitcoin because other stuff's outperforming it. So for me, Kaspa should, shut up quick. Maybe different types of investors are attracted. It's holding pretty tough there in the 25, 26 to 28 range on CoinMarketCap. See what's it? Yeah, 27. So it's hanging tough. And you can see that some of these other ones around it have had a better week. It's down 6% in the last week, basically kind of chopping sideways, near protocol H bar, but it's still holding its own pretty good. And like I said before, those key metrics, number of addresses holding at least one Kaspa is growing. The hash rate is growing. It's kind of starting to consistently be over 100 petahashes here. You can see the last day. I mean, it has dipped back down. It's always fluctuating, but it's starting to spend a lot more time. Basically, it looks like about half the time is over 100 petahashes. Here you can see that, in the last week, it went from flirting with going over 90 petahashes to consistently being over 90 petahashes to now it's flirting and spending half its time above 100 petahashes. So that's going to keep increasing as more ASICs come online. Let's see what some people on Reddit are saying. Urgent, is your Ice River ASIC being hijacked right now? Everyone who has a Ice River Case S3M, probably other models too, running with port forwarding for remote access to configuration, even with your own password protection, needs to check your pool hash rate and your miner configuration ASAP. I was just hijacked around 2 hours ago where the mining pool and addresses were changed repeatedly to hump pool on this address. Apparently, this criminal was able to somehow disable authentication and reconfigure the mining pools. So apparently, if you have a KS3M Ice River ASIC miner, you need to pay attention to this. I don't. triple digit hash rate 14 hours ago. So yeah, it's starting to hang out on there. Let's see what some of the people are saying about the hash rate here on Reddit. Oh, whoops, copy that image. Let's see what some of these people are saying. Let's see. Come on, folks. Let's get this. The logic might be off. Then we know for people are in it for the long haul, like BTC. They just want to get it up, the hash rate. I just fired up another KS0 Pro. It is what it is. I want to buy a KS3M, but of the reward keeps dropping it. It's like 6 months or more to break even compared to if I just bought 9 to 10K in Kaspa. You guys need to slow down so I can finish mining my 70 cent or 70 Kaspa. I need to get my last $100 payout. That's a lot of ASICs online. This is great all around. Every time this happens, it makes a 51% attack harder and harder. It's not impossible. It's also a sign of a mature network. I agree. And then, yeah, right here, Bitcoin Magazine 3 hours ago. This is not Casper related, but Bitcoin supply and exchanges are falling to new lows. So, there's fewer and fewer exchanges. You have rumors of like Qatar wanting to buy a bunch of Bitcoin, and it just sometimes stuff happens and the price just doesn't instantly respond. So when you have the number of addresses growing and hash rate growing, the price doesn't just instantly respond, and that's fine for me. Now that's not financial advice. That's just doing what I'm in it for the long haul. Problem, I bought the KS3M. Why is my ASIC miner rejection pool rate over 20%? So a lot of this is related to the mining. Bitmain product, Antminer, KS miner, KS3. What's the correct way to dispatch your Kaspa? Now that I have got 2 Tangent wallets, 3 cards each, I'm trying to find the correct repartition. I was thinking something like Tangent 1, 25%, Tangent 2, 25%, Bybit, 25%, MEXC, 25%. I personally would keep 0 on MEXC and Bybit. Not your keys, not your crypto, man. Something can happen. Whatever jurisdiction you can, all of a sudden they could stop withdrawals. I would keep 0% on. I'd keep 50% in Tangent 1 and 50% in Tangent 2. That's just me personally. I would not keep any on Bybit or MEXC. Yeah, right here, this person said, don't store it on exchanges. Have you heard what happened with FTX, Trade Ogre, etc.? You have 2 Tangent wallets, which are the superior way to store your assets. Use them and them only. Ours are all in Tangent except the what we're mining. At least get off exchanges. They can shut down withdrawal, freeze your assets. You might live in the United States and or whatever. There could just be whatever jurisdiction could all of a sudden freeze withdrawals for whatever. They might go under. Right now, we're entering the bull run. They're not going to run that big chance of that. Okay, Stephen Lang, sup, bro? Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, get your Kaspa off, and it's also like this Bitcoin, and the less Kaspa on exchanges, the less Kaspa there is to buy, and you can always send it back if you want to sell it, but well, I mean, one, you should keep your crypto in self custody, whatever crypto you have, because I mean, if we didn't learn our lessons with FTX, Celsius, BlockFi, all those guys that went down, then it's just too big. You need to learn the lesson, and chances are you do have it in self custody. But if not, man, get it to self custody. Because what if you had 100,000 Kaspa and you had it spread around on Bybit and MEXC, and something happens with them or whatever, they freeze it, and because in the end, when it's on the exchanges, you have paper Kaspa, paper Bitcoin, and it's not yours until it's in your self custody. And really, people that are really into crypto, that's the whole point, is that you can have your own assets in your own wallet. And so thank you guys for the precious feedback. I'm not a big fan of desktop thingy. What do you guys think of online Kaspa wallet? Is it safe to use along with 2 Tangents, sync in advance? It's probably safe. I don't know about the online wallet. I mean, I do have one. I don't keep any in there. It was the first spot I kept it, and then once I got a Tangent, I sent it there. I'm not a big fan of online wallets personally, because it feels like it's a vector of um, an attack point potentially. There's somewhere that can be hacked. If you keep it with your tangems, especially two tangems, I think you'd be good at 50-50. And really, for most part, I don't really do a whole lot of transactions with my ledger or tangems. Those are like vaults I send it to, so they're pretty much they're receiving, and there's not a lot going out. So I'm not using those. I'm not interacting with those very much, and so move 25% of exchanges to Caspian Wallet app. I think that's what you meant here. Refer to my comment. I have to look it up. Thanks. Look at KDX on your desktop. You could also use your KDX account on the web wallet. Be wary of exchanges. I use the One Key Classic. I know people in the sub tend to favor the Tangent wallet, but I think the One Key Classic is great. So just whatever it is, keep it in your own wallet with seed phrases. Something like Tangent or whatever. You could use Caspian app, the KDX, the desktop. So keep it on your own wallets. And we all learned that lesson. And right now, since we're in a bull market, some of these guys aren't going to be going bankrupt, but there's going to be a new wave of bad actors, and they're going to look good. Like Alan Machinsky, he was doing all sorts of AMAs every week and this and that, and unbanked people, and it's just a big Ponzi scheme because he was using everyone's money and to pay everyone out, and they didn't have a good business model. So we'll just finish off real quick and see what some people are saying about Kaspa on Twitter. And yep, just be patient. Summary of the current Kaspa price movement, striving to reclaim its all-time high. So they got the cat, and it's kind of struggling to jump up over there. And it takes time. GDAG will be one of the biggest miners of Kaspa. Kaspa Enthusiast published this week in the Swiss Weekly magazine called something where Oliver Kessler, the director of Liberal Institute, recommended Kaspa as a Christmas present. Wait till Kaspa wakes up from this long rest. You'll see the GOAT do a monster run to the top 10. It'll be happening soon, very soon. Kaspa, the world's fastest open source decentralized fully scalable layer 1. Kaspa community persistently continues to develop, build no matter what the conditions are. Our open call to all stock markets is to let's build tomorrow together. So a lot of people, December 5th, the Kaspa graph inspector is going to look like this after the upgrade from 1 block a second to 10 blocks a second. Some people are asking, what does Kaspa even do? So I'll finish there. The key metrics, the mining hash rate and the number of addresses is growing, and they're still working on implementing stuff like this where it's 10 blocks a second. The hash rate's over 100 petahashes consistently now, and it's going to keep growing. So I think you just got to be patient, and not everything in the market's moving the exact same way. And Kaspa's had its day, and it's going to have its day again, in my opinion. So, hey, buddy, long time, Tony Mace, thanks. How low do you think Kaspa's going to go? I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's going to go that much lower, but maybe it does. I don't feel like it's going to go under 10 cents. It really feels like it's been hanging. I mean, what did it get down to 11.5 cents? 11.5 cents a couple of times. And so I guess it's found kind of support there. It just feels like maybe it gets down. It feels like it's going to stay over 10 cents, but it feels like it could be primed for another run up here to me, maybe, because you got more people onboarded. Because even if people are spreading their Kaspa out to a couple wallets or whatever, there's the number of addresses is growing at a rapid rate. And with the hash rate, there's more powerful computing coming online, more ASICs. So maybe it goes down to 11 cents again. I don't know. Maybe it goes under 10 cents. I don't know. It'd be a good buying opportunity, but it doesn't feel like it's going under 10 cents, in my opinion. And it feels like that it could have a run up here in the near future. And all right, Pug Up agrees. So I think I need to get a glass of water here. And sorry about that. But yeah, I don't think it's going to go back under 10 cents. It feels like it's this 11, 12 cent range. And honestly, feels like, you can see how stuff's popping. I have some Cardano, and even some of the like ADA whales doesn't really know why Cardano is pumping. so much, 57% the last week, a lot the last couple days. And that's someone that's a whale in that area. And, so it's shot up good, and I'm glad because I have it. But, AVAX is the same way. So I think, not, Caspa's had a good run up, and it's just kind of consolidating right here, which is good because it's near an all-time high. And I think it's primed for another run up. I can't see it going under 10 cents. I agree there. Um, I think it's going to go down, but one of the tier exchanges is going to list it from now until into January. Yeah, and that's a good point. I wasn't even thinking about that, bringing it up. But yeah, once there's a tier one exchange here, and I don't see how there is. I mean, there's rumors of Bonk, just some meme coin getting listed on Coinbase. So once Binance, Coinbase, or one of those other kind of lower tier one exchanges, top two tier exchanges list it, I think that'll be a big explosion. But right now, you have all the things that are leading in the right direction: increased hash rate and more addresses coming online. So just a matter of time. Maybe it dips down more. Oh yeah, and that's a big game changer once those guys come on. Right now, you're in it before it's had a nice run up, and people have got in at different buying points, different price entries. But we're still all in before any tier one exchange listing. And so I'm patient, and if it dips down, maybe that's just a good buying opportunity. But I don't think it's going under 10 cents, but maybe it does. It kind of feels like it's going to be above 10 cents, and feels like it's just kind of hanging around in the same area, going up a little bit, going down a little bit. Did retest and almost go over its new all-time high. That's been a couple weeks, and I'm just patiently waiting, and I do think that there is going to be some bigger exchange listings and more people coming into the ecosystem. You can see there's a lot more excitement now into crypto. Bitcoin went up a lot. You're getting a lot of other altcoins going up a lot, and so people are got their eyes open for something else that they want to invest in. And you can look at Kaspa. It did have its big run up, but not in the last couple of weeks. It's kind of, the last week or so, it hasn't been running up. So maybe some, obviously the addresses are growing. So that's what you want to see: increased hash rate, increased addresses. There's the team's still working on, the developers are still working, and there's no tier one exchange listings. So, after the tier one exchange listings, we're probably off to the races. So thanks for watching, and have a good day.